Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of First Impression Sports Talk. I'm your host, Jasmine Pollock, today, and we have a great show for you guys today. We're going to talk about the NFL releasing their schedule tonight, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the state of rivalry games. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Jasmine's First Impression Sports Talk. And like I said in the intro, we're going to talk about the NFL and its scheduling system that's happening tonight. And we're going to talk about rivalry games and should they be on primetime. So I have a special guest with me. It's going to be Leon Thomas. We're going to have some talk about all things football, all things NFL regarding these scheduling. So far, I have my computer right here up, and I have some of the games have already showed itself. We have the Lions, we have the Chiefs, or Lions and Chiefs on September 7th. Then we have the Jets and the Bills. So that's the first week. Then week 4, we have the Falcons and Jaguars. Then the second week, we have Jacksonville against the Bills. We have Cowboys and 49ers. We have Ravens and Titans. We have Dolphins at the Chiefs, Colts and the Patriots, Dolphins at the Jets, 49ers at the Eagles, Raiders versus the Chiefs, and Giants versus the Eagles, Bengals versus the Chiefs. So we have some games already out there right now, and we're still going to wait to get the full scope of what these games have and what these implications have. So let's bring on Leon.
Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine, looks like there's some technical difficulties.
Let's have a good conversation about what is going to happen with.
All right. So,
hi, Leon.
Hey, Jasmine, you said that because I'm a Ravens fan, right? I'm a Ravens fan. So you mentioned that they already said the Ravens are going to play the Titans. Where did they play that game? Did they mention that?
So let's look at it here. So it looks like it's going to be in Tennessee on October 15th at 9:30 a.m. That has to be maybe the overseas game, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that's the overseas game. Maybe not, but I think that might be a Saturday this year. So the Ravens do travel to go play Tennessee this year.
Okay. Now, that's not a rivalry game for us. And I'm glad they announced it. I'm sure a lot of fans are excited about it because it seems like we always play each other in the playoffs, right? So That's one that everyone gets excited about. We remember, last year in the playoffs, this happened. Last year in the playoffs, and the same thing with the Bengals, either in the playoffs or that last game of the season, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. I also like to know who's playing opening Thursday night. Did they tell us that yet?
Let's see. So they don't have Thursday night, but the opening week is going to be Lions at Chiefs and Bills at Jets. So those two games are set in stone. We have September 11th at 8:15. That's the Bills and the Jets. And the Lions and Chiefs are September 7th, and that is going to be at 8:20 p.m. So that's going to be interesting.
Okay, yeah, that'll be something. And look at the NFL. I mean, just had the draft 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
It's all football all the time. They just don't stop. They get us. They reel us in.
Right. It's a big deal. It's a big deal because this is a new system. This is a new thing that's going on, and I feel like it's an important thing because when we look at this league right now, and with all the different things that are going on pertaining to the league and people changing ship, like of course we have Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets now. He's a new member. We look at so many guys moving around, and it's going to be competitive, especially in the AFC. I mean, the AFC is stacked with quarterbacks. We see big contracts. We have Lamar Jackson getting that breakout contract. Of course, we have Jalen Hurts getting his contract as well. So there's a lot of things going on, Leon, in the AFC. So I'm really going to be interested in seeing how the AFC matches up because we have so many quarterbacks in this conference right now.
Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks. And I know we're going to talk some more about the schedule and everything and get into some of the rivalry games and some questions around that. But can we talk about Lamar's contract just
Yes.
for a second? I know this is being streamed to LinkedIn, and there's probably some people wondering, well, why is this on LinkedIn? This belongs on Facebook. Shut up. It belongs here. We're talking like 185 million. If that's not business, I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know what is. But now, do you think there will be more players now representing themselves based on what Lamar got?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanted Lamar to get paid. I was one of those people that wanted Lamar to get paid. And when I look at, of course, we saw the big contract with Jalen Hurts. That was the first thing off the market. Like everyone's like, whoa, that's a big contract. And everybody was questioning, okay, what are the Ravens going to do? How are they going to handle this Lamar Jackson situation? And we started seeing a train of events. That was the signing of Odell Beckham. I'm like, okay, there's some things going on there. There's some things brewing. You sign Odell to that 1 year contract for 18 million, 15 of that guaranteed. And then questions arise, and then boom, here comes Jalen Hurts. He gets the big contract. Here comes the draft day. And there was conversations 48 hours before the draft happened, like, oh, there's a deal done with the Ravens, but with the Ravens of Lamar, there was a deal done. And we were just like, a deal was done. Like, what? Like, what's going on? There's still some things about the numbers and how big the contract was. And then here comes draft night. Lamar Jackson signs the extension. Now he's the highest paid uh, player in the NFL in history. So this is a big, big deal. And I'm happy for Lamar because I think Lamar deserves his money. I think he is the face of this franchise. And they did very well in the draft. Your Ravens did a very good job in this draft, getting some receivers, getting some weapons, getting some defensive pieces to add to this roster to help Lamar get to the promised land and go compete for a championship in this conference.
Now, all right, let's talk about that term you just used. My Ravens or any team, right? We can drop any team into that and say they did a good job. They got some players in the draft. I think it's always too early to tell. Let's wait till the season happens. Let's wait a year or two down the road to see what happens, and then look at those draft picks to see where are they now. Where are they in 2 years? Who's the wide receiver that the Ravens drafted like 2 years ago that then played last season in Arizona?
I think it was Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown. Right? When we drafted him, oh, he's the greatest thing. Oh my goodness, we're gonna have somebody to throw the ball to. Da da da. He was a bust. Right. How about the guy before him? That I'm not into football that much, but I listen and watch, and I know that somebody like 2 years ago, he led the league in like drop passes.
Yes.
Rashard Bateman, wasn't that him?
Rashard Bateman, yep.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And he was supposed to be the wide receiver savior for the Ravens, right? When he was drafted. I just think we should wait until, a year, at least 2 years to see what that draft class looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, were some players taken in the the lower rounds, or even what do they call them now? Undrafted
free agents,
right? That end up being stars. But yes. I get it. We can only go by what we have on paper now, though. Hey, listen, folks, if you're watching this right now live at 3:42 Eastern, this is the late afternoon sports break, and we're thinking about doing this multiple times during the week. Drop us a comment. What do you think? Think this is a good idea to have a 12, 15-minute show? You could come on the show and talk sports with Jasmine. But here's the thing I want you to do. Even if you're watching this on a recording, because I know some of you are up at like 1 o'clock in the morning because you're playing around on the net. Do me a favor. Find Jasmine Pollock on LinkedIn and connect with her. Jasmine just recently graduated from Warner University. She's looking for that first nice entry-level position in the broadcasting. A lot of you that are connected with me, you're in broadcasting. You are. You're in broadcasting, yeah. And you are. So reach out to Jasmine, connect with her. But then here's the other thing. We need to boost her number of connections because she's far away from being able to broadcast live on LinkedIn using LinkedIn
Yep.
Live. So we're asking you a favor here, to watch the show and give us your comments about everything that we're talking about here. All right. Now I have a question. I want to go to my favorite segment. Let's talk rivalries.
Okay.
Who's your favorite
Rivalries.
NFL rivalry, Jasmine?
Packers and Chicago Bears. We all know I'm a Packers fan, and of course, I despise the Chicago Bears. But the number one team I despise the most is the Dallas Cowboys. But we're talking rivalries. My favorite rivalry is between my Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears. It's always competitive. Well, the past couple years hasn't been competitive, but I think it's going to be more competitive now that we do not have Aaron Rodgers under center. It's going to be a whole new offense, whole new quarterback. Jordan Love, is Jordan time. Let's see what he's going to do and how he is going to look in this coming season. But that is my favorite rivalry. It's a very historic rivalry, obviously, with a lot of great all-time players, a lot of great Hall of Famers that played in for both franchises.
So when those two play, because they play twice a year, right? Do you get all pumped up and think all day long about that game? Do you look at it on the calendar and identify, they're playing. I had to get my whatever that food of choice is for you, and you get all situated and clear your schedule. Is that what you do for this rivalry game that's big for you?
Yes, for sure. Like I'm focused. If it's Chicago Bears week, I'm like, look, this is what's happening. This is Chicago Bears week. Let's prepare. Let me make sure I have my jersey on, have my
Jasmine,
Green Bay earrings. I do have been beating the Bears for the longest time. You've been beating the Bears for the longest time.
Wow. Now my rivalry is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right?
Yes.
that's the rivalry, right? And I look forward to all Ravens games, of course. In fact, I watch a lot of, I'm a casual fan. I watch NFL, but I really look forward to that Ravens Steelers game. Mm-hmm. And somehow, like your game, the Packers Bears, the Steelers Ravens, it just doesn't feel as intense if it's played at 1 p.m.
Agreed.
I just don't get that same feeling with that game. I wanted it at least 4 o'clock. And I don't think they should be played in the early fall where it's really sunny and bright. I mean, I know down in Florida you don't have a choice, right? In certain cities down there, but I think that's a late fall game, and that's a nighttime where you see the breath come out.
Yes.
You see that going on. That's what I think. What do you think about these rivalry games? Should they be played 1 o'clock at night? What are your thoughts?
I think, especially between the Steelers and Ravens and Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers, these games should be in prime time. They should, because they're very historic franchises. Like I said, all four of these franchises have had a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of Super Bowls under their belts, and a lot of defensive cheers. I mean, we've seen, of course, we know the Chicago Bears defensive team, the Ravens a defensive team, of course the Steelers defensive team, just a lot of things go into play when we're talking about all four of these teams. And I think these teams need to be primetime. But I think what has happened is we have teams like, of course, the Chiefs and the Bills who have, just skyrocketed to stardom. The Bengals skyrocketed to stardom now. And now we're like, okay, we're heading into a new phase of rivalry, whereas we're kind of leaving these great franchises behind, like the Ravens, like the Steelers, like the Bears, like the because for the past few years we haven't been for AFC and NFC championships and getting to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd like to see them at night, primetime games, and Thanksgiving evening, a big battle. Thanksgiving. You remember a couple years ago it was like Houston against Tennessee or something. Yes. Thanksgiving. Yeah, get that game out of here. It was
not. I don't think that was a good game.
Get it out of here. I need to see that. So you figure, all right, you've got the Sunday nights,
yes,
Monday nights, Thursday nights,
mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving evening, and then there's always right around Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or somewhere right around there. And you've got this year, I think it's New Year's Eve. right?
Yes.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
load them up. But, you know,
I
unless,
think also you mentioned Thanksgiving. One team I'm tired of seeing on Thanksgiving is the Cowboys. I every year, every time we see the Cowboys playing this person, they're playing this team, they're playing this team. I'm like, aren't we tired of the Cowboys? Now I know they say this is America's team. I know that Jerry Jones has struck many media deals. They're the richest franchise in all of sports. They're one of the richest teams in the whole world. And I know that they have a lot of money. They can spend a lot of money. They can get a lot of money. But what have the Cowboys done in the past 25 years to keep seeing them on my screen on Thanksgiving while I'm having turkey? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't want to see them. I don't want to keep seeing them. I just don't want to
no,
keep seeing them.
come on. I thought you were a football purist. I thought
Uh,
you were into football tradition. The Lions play at 12:30 or 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. The
yes.
Cowboys have that 4:30 or 4 o'clock slot. I mean, we're talking Pat Summerall and John Madden. It goes back even past them. This is what you had.
Ooh.
That's tradition. You want to break that just because you don't like the Cowboys?
I mean, the only people I feel like the Cowboys is their fans. Like everyone's not rooting for the Cowboys, unfortunately. So it's just the Cowboys every Thanksgiving. I mean, can we change it up a little bit? Just a little.
Wow, I didn't know we were going down that road. Jasmine
Just a little
says,
bit.
get the Cowboys off of Thanksgiving. Well, what about the Lions? You want to take them
Yes.
away too?
The Lions are actually climbing in a good direction. I can't believe I'm saying that as a Packers fan, but the Lions are moving in a good direction. But the Cowboys have been inconsistent and slowly declining the past few years. And they've been losing on Thanksgiving. They've been losing on Thanksgiving.
Folks, we got to get your comments about that. And, make it here, or in fact, send me an email and I'll forward it on to Jasmine. Okay, because we got to hear some comments about this and maybe even get some of you on the show the next time we do it to discuss this. Jasmine says that despite all of the history and tradition in football, that the Cowboys need to be removed from
Yes.
the Thanksgiving roster. They shouldn't play the Cowboys should not play on Thanksgiving. What do you think? Comment, send me an email. I'll forward it to her and let y'all battle it out. The
Yes.
email address is Leon at theleonthomasgroup.com. Leon at theleonthomasgroup.com. I'll send it on. Y'all battle. Maybe even come here and talk about it. So, what else
Yes.
we got, Jasmine? About 2 minutes left. What else we gonna talk about?
Well, the NBA is currently right now. I know, Leon, we talked. You're not going to be as in tune right now because we're in the semi conference finals. So it's just when we look at what's going on. Of course, yesterday the Heat and the Lakers both had closeout games. They didn't cash it in. Obviously, we know that both teams were up 3-1. Lakers being up 3-1 over Golden State, and Golden State was able to capitalize yesterday off of this game, and a lot of turnovers and miscues, and officiating was not good last night in that game. Then we look at the Miami Heat. I think Jalen Brunson really came out for the Knicks and really put the team on his back, and they really competed at a high level. But I still have the Lakers and the Miami Heat making it to the conference finals. Now we're still waiting to see who's going to win out of the Denver series. I know the Denver series is a 1-win away. And then we have, of course, the 76ers are also a win away over the Boston Celtics. So we're seeing some things that might be interesting. We might see Boston get out. I have a strong disbelief that the Boston Celtics are about to lose this series. I do think they are going to lose this series. And the 76ers, Joel Embiid being the MVP, he is about to make it to his first conference finals. And it's going to be a huge, huge deal. And then, of course, James Harden is back to his old ways. He's still back to that Houston James Harden giving you 30 points. And they are really they have dominated the Boston Celtics. Now they have on their home court the Boston Celtics on the brink of elimination. Then we have the Suns on the brink of elimination as well after they acquire Kevin Durant during the trade deadline, which is a huge, huge deal. And now Joker, who is a two-time MVP, can go to, again, another Western Conference Finals. So that's the NBA right now. We'll see what's going on. A little bit of hockey. The Florida Panthers, who I'm going to root for now, being that my Lightning is out, and of course they're losing. My Lightning lose to the Maple Leafs, who the Panthers are playing right now. Now the Panthers had a chance to close them out yesterday because they were up 3-0. They were looking for the sweep, but the Panthers were able. The Panthers or the Leafs were able to make a run and win that game. And now the series is now 3-1 heading back to Toronto. But I do have the Panthers winning this game and making it to their first conference finals. And could this be the year for the Panthers? Because they've never won a Stanley Cup in their history. So there's a lot of things going on. They have a lot of good veterans. They've been in situations like that. They've been in the playoffs. So we'll see what the Panthers are going to do. I do have them winning the series and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right. Now, I'm only going to say two things about the NBA. Number one, I don't want Boston to win. I never have liked the Celtics. You're supposed to ask me why. Go ahead. Ask me why I don't like the Celtics.
Why don't you like the Celtics?
All right. So way back when, Wes Unseld just passed away a couple years ago. I had an internship at his school. It's called the Unseld School. This is after he retired. And I said to him, man, I want you to come to my basketball game on Friday, right up the street. Come to my basketball game on Friday. He takes out his manual calendar and he looks and he says, oh, I can't come. I'm going to be in Boston broadcasting. Hall of Famer couldn't come to my game because he had to go to Boston to broadcast. Ever since then, I haven't liked anything in Boston, period. Okay?
I'm not fond of Boston either.
I don't like Boston. Now, here's what I say is going to happen to get Miami to the NBA Finals. Remember last year, Jimmy Butler missed the last second shot, and everyone was saying, was it a good shot? Was it a bad shot or whatever? He's going to hit the shot this year that gets them in the finals, or maybe even hits one during the finals that has them win. You heard me say it right here,
Jimmy Buckets.
That's Jimmy Buckets. It's gonna happen. All right, great. Thank you for having me as part of your show, Jasmine. I appreciate it. And thank you to Dr. Jay Rasinko in the background for being with us today. Thanks for having me on, Jasmine.
Of course, anytime, Leon. Thank you for your expertise and just having a simple conversation today. It was a very impactful conversation, and we'll see you guys next time. But thank you again to Jay for the background and all the things and all the work that he's done. And he is a Steelers fan, so I know he was in tune with this conversation. But that wraps up this special edition of First Impression Sports Talk. Again, please follow me on LinkedIn, which is Jasmine Pollock. Just look up Jasmine Pollock and just have a little conversation. Ask some questions. What do you guys want to hear on the show? What do you guys want to debate about? If you'd like to be a guest, please. And shout out to Dr. AJ Anderson. Thank you for the comment. And just give your expertise. I know there's a lot of sports fans out there, so definitely make sure you follow me on, of course, Twitter as well, which is at JazzyEsk. Follow me on LinkedIn, Jasmine Pollock. And then, of course, check out First Impression Sports Talk every Monday at 3:30 p.m. See you guys next time.